welcome to my channel, Shell's Flow Motion. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be going through a short hamstring and hip opener this morning with a few standing and seated postures. So if you want to start at the front of your mat, starting in standing, we're going to be hip width apart, hinging at the hips, engaging through the core, and coming to a half lift position. Option to place the hands on the thighs, shins, or on the floor, maybe on a block, whatever's most comfortable for you. And when you're ready, feel free to start swaying slowly left to right, moving at your own pace, allowing this to open some space through the hamstrings, through the hips, maybe feeling it in your lower back. And exhaling down to the floor, placing your hands to the shins, the floor, or a block to come into a nice forward fold. Taking a moment here to again sway left to right. Maybe you keep your hands long. Maybe you come into ragdoll, interlacing the hands at the elbows. Whatever feels most comfortable as you sway from side to side. Option to hold on each side for a moment to deepen the stretch before coming back to center, coming back to half lift. On your next inhale, we'll come to standing, and we're going to prepare for Malasana. Starting with your heels faced inwards towards the center of your mat and hanging your toes off the edges of your mat, you'll sink down into Malasana, pressing the elbows to the outer knees, helping to support you. If you'd like extra support, or if you're looking for a more restorative version of this posture, feel free to grab a block. Just play with what feels most comfortable for you. Do you like it at the highest level? Do you want it at the middle? Do you want it sideways? Or do you want it as flat as possible as just a goal for something to reach down towards if you're trying to get your Malasana lower? There's lots of options. You can use the block to help increase or reduce the amount of stretch that you're trying to reach. From here, if you want to place your left hand on the block and extend the right hand above your head, taking a side body stretch from within the Malasana. This is nice with the block just to be able to push into the block rather than have to fully support yourself. Option again on the other side. You can also remove the block and grab at the ankle if you prefer. Both are great options. They're just kind of working different things. Seated, you're going to be engaging more core, engaging more of your legs, including your balance. Whereas with the block, you're going to be opening up through your back a little more, opening up through your side body a little more. But both are great, whatever ones you guys prefer. This is your practice, make it your own. As we move into the next posture, feel free to sink onto your sit bones, bringing your feet forward, bending to the knees. And we're going to work on slowly pushing through the heels to get the legs closer to straight, trying to come into a seated forward fold. Don't put any pressure on trying to have your legs straight or being able to reach your toes. It's best to be able to start with your knees bent, bending your feet forwards and backwards, pointing the toes and flexing the toes to help move the muscles and prepare them for this posture. Feel free to keep slowly inching the legs farther forward, allowing that bend, waking the legs up before you try and fully sink into your seated forward fold. When you're first folding, our goal is going to try and be to have a straight back. Maybe you reach your ankles, maybe you reach your feet, maybe you're holding on by your thighs, but just have a straight back. That's our goal as we're trying to help tilt the pelvis forward and extend through the spine. And then when you're ready, you can exhale down, rounding through the shoulders for a moment, and then inhaling back up, straightening through the spine again. Now that we're feeling warm, we're going to take this forward fold and we're going to take it to standing. So if you want to meet me in standing, hinging at the hips, folding down, we're going to leave the left arm planted, right arm to the sky, and we're placing a little bend in that left knee so that we can really open through that side body. If this is hard for you, feel free to grab a block so that it's a little easier. Moving to the opposite side, planting the right hand down, bending through the right knee, and extending the left arm to the sky, trying to open through the chest, opening through the hips. And here, I'll give you a better angle. There you go, popping the leg out, extending the arms to the sky, trying to make kind of a T with your arms, but touching the floor or a block, engaging through your core, and trying to open through that popped hip. Plenty of options here for you guys, so make it as comfortable as you'd like. On your next inhale, we'll come back to the opposite side, bending through the left leg. Again, we have the option here to have the hand planted, keeping the hand on the fingertips, or feel free to grab a block if that feels better, so that you can have a little bit more stability with where your hand's placement is if the floor is still a little bit farther away or a little bit more of a challenge. Make sure you're engaging through your core and you're not locking that straight leg, but allowing it to be nice and relaxed as you're bending down. Taking another breath here. And exhaling, we're going to sink our hips down, coming into a lifted toe squat, bringing the hands to heart center. Taking a breath here. As you make your way to kneeling, we're going to take some time to warm up our feet, placing the hands towards on the outsides of the knees, and you're going to lift your legs slowly off the ground, making sure the feet keep contact. The goal here is just trying to stretch the tops of the shin, the tops of the foot, maybe the ankle. If it feels too intense to do both legs at a time, feel free to do one at a time, starting with the right leg, just bending with the toes, pulling the knees up towards the sky, and then moving to the left leg, bending through the toes, letting the knee lift towards the sky, holding here for a moment. And then we'll make our way to cross-legged if you want to put your sit bones on the mat, and take a moment to rock slightly left and right, trying to just slowly press the knees closer to the earth or closer to your mat, noticing which foot that you have in front. Doesn't matter which one, but just taking a notice, and then switching to the opposite side to make sure that we stretch our hips both ways. It doesn't matter which one you have in the front or back to start with. We're going to do both sides either way. Again, rocking the hips down, taking a moment to really loosen them. Maybe you wiggle left to right. Maybe you shift forward and backwards. If it's in your practice, feel free to try and come into a modified lotus pose right now, or a full lotus. If it's not in your practice, that's okay. You can work on getting one leg up, or maybe you're just trying to get the lifted leg closer back to your mat. Whatever feels best for you. Some days I can do my lotus, some days I can't. Sometimes I can do one foot, sometimes I can do both. It really varies day to day, so listen to your body and what feels best for you. If your muscles are there and ready for it, by all means, go for the challenge. But if it feels a little too intense, nothing in our practice should hurt today. Everything should just feel good. So you can take any modification that you need here, or stay within your cross-legged and work on your hips as well. Taking a few more breaths here. And if it is in your practice, now's the time if you want to come into full lotus on the opposite side. And coming out of the posture, we're going to work our way into another little forward fold, just stretching out the feet, flexing the toes forwards and backwards for a moment. Taking a little break for Eve to play so she'll let me finish the practice. And you're going to come lying onto your back, pulling the knees to chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, and you're going to rock slowly left to right and forwards and backwards, rolling out the hips, rolling out the spine, letting your hips relax, letting your spine lengthen. We're going to let Eve play here for just a second. Hopefully your rollout is a little more relaxing than mine. And on your next inhale, go ahead and straighten your legs up to legs up a wall. Feel free to use a wall if you'd like or not. Twisting out the feet, wiggling the toes. Taking a moment to drop one leg at a time towards your mat and lifting it back up to the sky. Doing that as many times as it feels good for you, or just keeping your feet straight and wiggling the toes before we slowly lower the legs down, coming into Savasana to end our practice. Noticing how you feel today, remembering the intention you set at the beginning of class, appreciating that you spent the time for yourself this morning, relaxing through the forehead, closing the eyes, letting your hands fall as they may, inhaling and exhaling slowly, allowing deep belly breaths, relaxing through the cheekbones and the jaw, relaxing through the neck and the shoulders, allowing the hips to relax. They did some work today, allowing the feet and the toes to relax and unwind, and just appreciating the moment that you have here. On your next inhale, if you want to start slowly wiggling your head left to right, wiggling through the fingers and the toes, maybe giving your shoulders a small shrug before you roll onto your side, preparing yourself to meet in seated. And when you feel fully awake and ready, feel free to come up to seated. Maybe you sit in kneeling or crisscross, whatever feels most comfortable. Thank you for joining me for your practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day.